quite a big question here looking at power and energy. Let's take a look at it. So it says the image shows a girl riding a self-balancing scooter. You've probably seen these from a long time ago. The table gives data for 2 scooters with different motors, and both motors have the same efficiency, so I'm going to underline that there. It then says the power of each motor, so scooter A has a power of 500, scooter B with a power of 700, and their masses, so scooter B is slightly higher in mass at 14 kilograms compared to 10.5 for scooter A. And it says explain why scooter B has a higher maximum speed for 2 marks. So anytime you have any sort of explanation question, and the number of marks indicate the number of points you're going to need. So why is it going to have a higher speed? Let's look at the table. The key factor here is related to power, because it's the rate at which energy is transferred. So if it has more power, it can transfer more energy quickly. Yes, that same amount of energy can be transferred faster, so it can move faster. So for the first mark, I'm going to say the scooter B has a higher power. And in the second part here, what I've underlined at the top there, the scooters have the same efficiency. So if they have the same efficiency, that means their amount that they're transferring, or the percentage they're transferring to useful energy, is the same. So if it has a higher input power, that means more of it's being transferred as a result to kinetic energy. So for the second mark, I'm going to say scooter B transfers or produces a greater amount of kinetic energy. So in the next question, it says both scooters can be ridden for 20 minutes before the battery needs recharging. Compare the amount of chemical energy stored in the batteries of each scooter for 1 mark. Now again, because there's more power in scooter B, that means it's going to need more energy. So the energy stored in scooter B is going to be greater. So all we need to say is scooter B has more chemical energy stored than scooter A. And the next question is another simple 1 marker if you know it, also looking at your formula sheet. Write down the equation that links energy transferred, power and time. So if you looked in your formula sheet, you'd find it out, or you can remember it from the units. The equation is energy transferred equals power multiplied by time, because power is the rate of energy transfer. So I'm going to write it in the order they've given. Energy transferred equals power times time. Now lastly, they're giving us a calculation as well. So it says calculate the energy transferred by the motor in scooter B in 20 minutes. And they've given us the unit there in joules at the end, and it's for 3 marks. So we've also already given the equation ourselves in our previous answer. So we're going to put that first. E equals power times time, PT. Okay, now the power of scooter B, we've seen it in the table, I've underlined it, that's 700 watts. What is the time? It says 20 minutes here, so I'll underline that. That is not the standard unit of time, so we need to change it to our standard unit, which is seconds. So I'm going to put here 60 seconds in a minute, so it's going to be 20 times 60, so 60 minutes would be 1,200 seconds. And now with that, take our 700 watts for power as well, multiply them together, so it'll be 700 watts times 1,200 seconds, and that gives you a straight value of 840,000 joules. And that is all that you need to put in the answer here. So 1 mark for showing the equation, 1 mark for correctly subbing in the numbers, and 1 mark for the actual correct answer. And there you have it, quite a few marks there, but very easy to get, I believe.